In the first centuries after the time of Jesus, when religions, philosophies, and cultures mingled like rivers meeting the sea, there arose several spiritual movements that modern historians call Gnosticism. These were not a single church or unified doctrine, but a family of beliefs connected by one central idea, that true salvation comes through gnosis, meaning inner knowledge, a direct awakening of the soul to its divine origin. Among the many stories preserved from these movements is the strange and powerful myth of Yaldabaoth, a figure who represents both creation and confusion, power and ignorance. His story survives not in the Bible, but in ancient writings discovered in 1945 near Nag Hammadi in Egypt. Farmers digging in the soil uncovered sealed clay jars filled with papyrus manuscripts, texts that had slept in darkness for over 1,600 years. Among them were works such as the Apocryphon of John on the origin of the world and the hypostasis of the archons. These writings offered a dramatically different vision of the universe. According to these Gnostic myths, before the physical universe existed, there was a realm of pure spiritual fullness called the pleroma. It was not a place in space, but a state of divine completeness, inhabited by spiritual beings known as eons, expressions of the ultimate, unknowable source of all things. Among these aeons was Sophia, whose name means wisdom. Sophia is a crucial figure. She is not human, not an angel, and not exactly a goddess. She is divine wisdom personified, an embodiment of intelligence and creative insight. In the Bible, particularly in the book of Proverbs, wisdom is also described as a feminine presence with God at the dawn of creation. However, in biblical scripture, wisdom is poetic language, a quality of God's nature, not a separate being. The Gnostics expanded this poetic symbol into a full cosmic character with thoughts, emotions, and agency. In the Gnostic story, Sophia desired to create something on her own, without the harmony or partnership of the other divine beings. This act was not necessarily evil, but it was unbalanced. From this solitary creation came Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth emerged incomplete, powerful, but ignorant of his true origin. Many Gnostic texts describe him as having the head of a lion and the body of a serpent, with blazing eyes and a voice like thunder. These images were not meant to be taken literally, but symbolically. The lion suggested authority and dominance. The serpent suggested cunning and earthly power. Together, they represented a being who possessed strength but lacked wisdom. Because he was born outside the harmony of the divine realm, Yaldabaoth did not know the higher God existed. He believed himself to be the only deity. In his isolation, he proclaimed, "I am God and there is no other beside me." This declaration echoes phrases found in the Hebrew scriptures, which is one reason the Gnostics began to draw bold conclusions about the nature of the Creator described in the Old Testament. Alone and unaware of the greater spiritual realms above him, Yaldabaoth began to create. He formed the material universe, shaping stars, planets, and the physical laws of existence. He also created lesser rulers called archons, beings who helped govern the cosmos. Yet his creation was flawed, heavy, and imperfect because it was shaped without a full understanding of the divine source. Sophia, realizing what had happened, felt deep sorrow. She had brought forth a being with immense creative power but limited awareness. To help correct this imbalance, she secretly placed a divine spark within humanity. According to Gnostic belief, this spark is the hidden memory of the higher spiritual realm, the quiet inner voice that senses there is more to existence than what can be touched or seen. This belief helped explain a troubling question many ancient thinkers struggled with. If God is perfect and good, why does the world contain suffering, injustice, and imperfection? The Gnostic answer was radical. They proposed that the material world was not created by the highest perfect God, but by a lesser ignorant being. In this way, they could preserve the idea of a purely good ultimate source, while accounting for the brokenness of physical reality. This interpretation also influenced how some Gnostics read the Bible. When they examined the Old Testament, they sometimes saw a creator who appeared stern, jealous, and law-focused. When they read the teachings of Jesus in the New Testament, they perceived a message centered on love, mercy, and inner transformation. From this contrast, certain Gnostic groups concluded that these represented two different divine beings, the Demiurge, or Yaldabaoth, who shaped the material world, and the true hidden God, a higher spiritual source whom Jesus came to reveal. It is important to understand that this view was rejected by mainstream Jewish and Christian traditions, which firmly maintained that the God of both testaments is the same singular divine being. Nevertheless, the Gnostic perspective reveals how early spiritual communities wrestled with scripture, philosophy, and the human experience of suffering. In the end, Yaldabaoth is not simply a villain. He is a symbol of power without full understanding of creation, born from incomplete knowledge. Sophia represents wisdom that dares to act and then seeks to heal its consequences. Humanity in this myth stands between worlds, formed from material substance, yet carrying a hidden fragment of higher light. The story endures because it transforms cosmic questions into vivid characters. It asks whether the flaws of the world come from evil, ignorance, or misunderstanding. And it suggests that within every person lies a small but persistent spark, a reminder that beyond the visible universe may exist a deeper truth waiting to be remembered.